Happy Halloween, everybody. I'm Mike Hickey, who you might know as a filmmaker, author, or presenter hosting horror movie red carpets or shows like Fright Hype on a green screen like this one. But for the NTV Halloween Spooktacular, we thought we had to go a little bit bigger. So I'm on location at the Woodstock Public House on Topsail Road. Tonight, on top of looking at all of the amazing Halloween and horror culture that's been growing around the province over the last number of years, we're also gonna try to get to the bottom of some of the ghost stories in this place. Let's go check it out. All right, we are in Mary's Tea Room in the Woodstock Public House, and I'm here with the owner of the Woodstock, Brendan O'Rourke. Brendan, thanks for letting us in here and to have a look around.
Yeah, thanks for coming tonight.
Obviously, the Woodstock is a storied location. It's been around for a long time now. A place that's this old tends to have some stories, and some of those stories often involve ghosts, and that's kind of why we're here for the Halloween special. So is there anything with Mary's Tea Room that stands out as something that's you've either heard about or had happen to you?
Well, nothing that's happened to me personally, but there's a couple spaces in the building that are most known for their ghostly activity. The front entranceway coming into the tea room here has always been one that staff over the years had seen ghosts in this kind of area of the building. There was a cook here for many, many years, and she would always talk about the woman with her daughter in the red coat who would always be kind of watching the entranceway.
The woman with the red coat and her daughter were here.
Yeah, so it was always in this area. So our host stand is just over to the left from where we are here now. And they would always be seen walking in this hallway in and out of this room. You know, I think in any old building like this, when you spend so much time in it, it does become routine. I mean, whether it's a clatter in the middle of the night or you come in 6 o'clock in the morning to start the baking shift and things are falling off the shelves, despite the fact that you're the only one in the building. And this happens once or twice a week, it does just become routine. So now we're in the Sterling Room Pub, our little hidey hole upstairs.
You guys rebranded this space as the Sterling Room, right?
One of my favorite figures in Newfoundland history was always Jeff Sterling. And to learn that he owned this restaurant during the 1950s, was just amazing to me. And just to know that he was here and all of the kind of the spooky vibe that this room has.
This room does have a very spooky vibe.
I mean, I think we all kind of loved him for his fascination with the ethereal and the otherworldly, and I thought it was appropriate to name the bar after him.
This space is actually where you've had one of your personal experiences.
You have to understand that the holidays are a pretty busy time of year. So anyway, I'm asleep on the couch just right behind us, and I just hear a purring. I'm one of those people who are allergic to cats, and I'm just a magnet for them. Mm-hmm. And just saw the faintest shadow come behind me as I felt it kind of brush my arm. A cat's purr is like such a distinct, not only a noise, but a feel. Mm-hmm. And I felt that right into my bones. And then it jumped up. You could hear it hitting the cushion just on top. And jumped off. And I was kind of paralyzed there because I knew it wasn't it. I had a cat as we conventionally think of it.
Yeah. You mentioned there's the woman with the red coat and her daughter that are often seen kind of pacing in the entryway.
Yeah.
And there's a painting of a woman in a red coat and a little girl.
Yeah.
That's up here in this room. Between those two pictures
is their cat.
Well,
I mean, they're very strange paintings as well. I mean, they're not one of the beautiful frame pieces that Woodstock is known for. They are literally planks of wood that are nailed into the wall up here.
Were they done because it's what people see here?
I think the mystery kind of just adds the allure to it. It's certainly something that I always like to point out to people, especially with my personal experience.
Well, we're gonna try to get to the bottom of that. Thank you so much for showing us around, and now you're gonna leave us with the property for a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. Well, happy hunting.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming in tonight, guys.
All right, here we are at the Woodstock. The place is closed now. It is just us here. I think Brendan's hiding in a back room somewhere. But otherwise, it is just us. And we are going to check this place out and see if any of these ghost stories that we've been told have any truth to them. And we're starting here in the hallway because this is the story that Brendan told us about seeing a figure in a red coat and a small girl. And of course, there's the paintings of those up in the Sterling room. But this is where they are seen. What we're gonna do is just head inside to Mary's tea room and just hang out there and see if anything happens in that space. I mean, we were just in this room not that long ago, and it was fully lit, and it did not seem as creepy as it does right now. But when you put all these great old paintings, and when you put these artifacts and historical pieces like these clocks, and it's just gonna have a little bit of something, you know what I mean? Now, while we continue to look around here for some ghosts, a place we actually saw some very fun ghosts was on Thorburn Road, at a Nightmare on Thorburn Road, where we got to go check out the haunt attraction that's put together there. So while I keep looking, you guys check this out. Okay, I am here at a Nightmare on Thorburn Road with the organizer, Ross Squires. Ross, thanks for having us out.
Yep.
We're so excited for this.
Thanks for coming.
How did all this come together?
I was cutting grass out here many times late in the evening and kind of getting this here on the back of my neck feeling and thinking, if I can feel this creepy in my own property, imagine what other people would feel like. And I've always loved scaring people and just thought I wanted to try my own idea at this, and I had some help with a friend of mine, and we put our thoughts and props together, and here we are for our third year. It's just amazing that people want to come and get scared. They admit they're going to poop their pants, pee themselves, whatever, but they want to come and get scared.
And I know you guys have also taken to doing, you've done at least kind of one low scare night to just, for some people that need to be kind of eased into it.
We've had people that said, people speaking, we listened, they said, we like the idea of going through the haunt, but just can't handle the jump scares. We decided to do a non-jump scare night, which was last Wednesday, will be again this Wednesday. And it's basically the full effect without the jump scare actors.
With this property, right now you have it set up for Halloween, but when it's not Halloween, you did the dinosaur walk.
This past the tail end of the summer, we did a dinosaur park and basically dinosaur walk park. And we had 11 dinosaurs set up in the pathways, and families come out and really enjoy it. So it's great to be able to provide family entertainment. And it's not just the kids enjoying it, but the parents are enjoying it too.
And I assume plans to bring the dinosaur park back next summer as well?
Actually, if the weather holds up after Halloween is over, I might do some nighttime walks with the dinosaurs and do some fancy lighting, and hopefully because people have been asking if we're going to be doing anything after Halloween with the dinosaurs, because a lot of people missed it.
Well, it is getting a little dark, so I think it's about time for me to actually go and try my luck at this thing.
It's time for you to walk through and hear a grown man scream.
All right, let's do it. Only someone waiting right here. I very much feel like this big open field is just to lull me into a false sense of security before I go into the clown house. Oh yeah, no, I don't like this at all. It's the googly eyes on the monkey dude that really kind of get you. There is part of me that very much wants to spend more time talking to you guys on camera, but I'm also terrified to turn my back on anything. This is a spooky path. That full on almost hit me. All right. They've done an incredible job with this place. Ah! All right, I think we are just about at the tail end, but I do not trust them at all not to pull something else on me, just as I think I'm safe. Oh, this is such an incredible haunt. This is so much fun. If you get a chance, make sure to check out A Nightmare on Thorburn next Halloween and get back for the dinosaur walk this fall and all next summer. All right, I gotta get out of here. So I got a couple tools here to do some ghost hunting. One of them is an EMF detector, so an electromagnetic field detector that will just kind of pick up spikes in electromagnetic energy. And the other is this DOTS flashlight, and it'll just help us pick up any kind of shadows or any movement. Down this hallway is where we usually hear reports of seeing a woman in a red coat and her child. So we're just gonna leave this projected down the hallway for a minute. I'm gonna grab a chair and set it up, leave my phone on it, and see if we pick up anything. So here we go. That's set. So with that, we're gonna move on to the next room. All right, so I am here with Matt LaDrew, and Matt LaDrew is the publisher for Engine Books. He is also a member of the Horror Writers Association Atlantic Canada chapter, and Matt is mainly here tonight because I can't interview myself.
Yes.
What have been some of your bigger titles?
Terra Nova, of course. It's definitely one of our flagship titles now that it's something that people look forward to every year. There's the From the Rock series, which is catch-all, all genre, and we switch it up. And people really like our short fiction, but Terra Nova is dedicated to horror, and we approach things a little differently. It's very curated, and it people look forward to it and ask for it.
I'm very proud of him. I know
too.
you are. It's been a great title for you. It's been a great experience for me. For anybody who doesn't know, the Terra Nova books, we're on our third one. It's coming out this Halloween called Lurking in Darkness. It's a series that is set across Newfoundland, asking Newfoundland authors to write Newfoundland and Labrador inspired stories. Rather than me say it, do you want to tell everybody where the Terra Nova series is going?
Yeah. The next book in the series is going to be called Smallwood Manor, and it will take place in a hotel, a haunted hotel with exactly 13 floors. We're open for exactly 13 stories, and it should be a lot of fun. I've always seen it as a cross-media franchise kind of thing, partly because you exist in many medias, so it seems like one of those things of like, oh, well, let's do this. So we're already looking at audiobooks, and specifically now we're looking into graphic novels.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a lot of fun to see just where that series goes. And the Horror Writers Association, which is a international organization representing horror authors and fans around the world, has a bunch of local chapters, and we've just recently started one in Atlantic Canada. And that's what kind of prompted you to become a member of the organization.
Absolutely.
What are you excited about having that kind of local representation with the Horror Writers Association?
I like the idea of a community where everyone has the same kind of goals. It's wonderful to have an organization that's catered to one specific thing. We're starting to see these larger organizations remember that Newfoundland exists and that Atlantic Canada exists, so that's lovely.
Well, Matt, thanks so much for taking the time out to come chat with us tonight. It was great to catch up with you, and thank you for regurgitating the talking points that I can't say myself.
Absolutely. I'll always throw up whatever you feed me. Absolutely.
All right, perfect, thanks. So we are in the main dining room now. And working our way towards the pub. And when we were talking to Brendan about this place, there was a bunch of kind of dark history stories, but nothing too crazy specific out here. I mean, a big part of that is that it's clearly an old, dark, spooky place anyway. There's a pile of windows and mirrors and reflective surfaces and old paintings and just things that are going to catch you and give you a weird little look out of the corner of your eye. And an old building creaks, and these things happen, but doesn't make this place any less spooky to be right now. The fireplace is still lit. And so there's just some flickering. There's just some general weirdness that will play with your eyes down that way. Now, the thing about making a Halloween Spooktacular is that you wind up in some crazy spots looking for some spooky things. This isn't even the first tea room we've been in working on this thing. We spent some time earlier this summer on the Port-au-Port Peninsula at Our Lady of Mercy complex where they have a museum and a community center and a tea room, and it's just an incredible property. And we got a chance to speak to some of the people that work there about some of the spooky things that go on there. So while I just double back to check on this, you guys see what it's like out on the Port-au-Port Peninsula. Okay, so today in Port-au-Port West on Port-au-Port Peninsula,
Yes.
at Our Lady of Mercy complex.
Yes.
Okay, and I am in the tea room. I guess this is, what do you call this one?
This is tea room.
Okay, and I am with Ashley McIsaac.
Hi.
What's been your experience since you got to do the tea room and museum?
Well, not often, but sometimes here by myself. It's very quiet, and you hear definitely footsteps upstairs.
I have an old house and it creaks and,
Yes,
and the wind hits and stuff.
absolutely.
But footsteps are different, and when you hear footsteps, you know you're hearing footsteps.
Very specific.
Do you like track them? Like, can you hear
Oh,
them going?
absolutely.
Like,
I will
and that
be
sort of thing?
in the gift shop there, and I will definitely hear them walking out of the rooms. It's very strange.
Have you heard any other sounds coming from upstairs while you're here by yourself?
I actually heard a door slam once, and that kind of freaked me out, but I just kind of chalked it up to, the wind or...
Cross breeze.
Yeah, even though the windows don't open in here.
Okay, well, there's that. What we're going to do now, I think, is go catch up with your colleague, Sarah. We're going to go upstairs and talk to her and have a look around the doll room.
Yes, it's a very interesting room.
Okay, looking forward to that. I'm here with Sarah Mercer, and Sarah, we are in a very creepy room, let's be honest. Why did anybody feel this room needs to exist?
That's a very good question. We have a lot of dolls in here. The reason why they all came to be here, a lot of times, I guess, donations, but we have had
People
some...
wanted to get them done. Like, get them out of their homes. I don't want this stuff around. We'll give it to the church because it's safe.
I'll be honest with you, that's probably been more of the attitude because it's something that working here, we've had to deal with the repercussions of them bringing it here.
You actually referred to it as this is the room with the most activity.
Yes.
Which is a fun way to phrase that. So let's talk about that. What is some of this activity that you talk about?
Well, I'll say the most recent one probably happened last week when I had a tour come in here, and I was doing a tour of the museum, and it was a family, and the husband, he came to this room, he turned and looked at me, and he looked really pale in the face, and he said, "Does this doll, wink at you? Does that happen while you're working here?" And I was like, "No, I've never personally, this has never happened to me," but he said he saw her wink at him.
I know that there are sometimes the dolls that have a weight inside them so that when you lay them down, their eyes close because they're going to sleep. This doll does not appear to have closable eyelids.
I don't think it has that mechanism at all.
Cool. So why would that, why would it be in the glass case?
That's another question that I don't know the answer to. Ever since I've been working here, she's been in the glass case, and I think even summers before that, it seems like she's always been in a glass case, which is different from all the other dolls in this room. All the other ones seem to just kind of be out or in the crib or,
Yeah.
for some reason she's in her special case.
Because otherwise everything else seems to be kind of practical, in situ, as it were, and then
Yes.
And then glass case. There is another doll
Yes.
in another case. Can
There
we
is.
go have a look at that?
A few years ago now, this was before I worked here, a coworker of mine was here in the summer, and a couple years before, her sister had also worked here. So they both had the same experience a couple years apart from each other. Both times, in the middle of the summer, a lady had just kind of came in, parked her car, ran inside, and then ran upstairs. When both my coworker and her sister, they both met the lady up here.
Was it the same lady?
Yes. It was the same
Okay.
lady. I don't know what her name is,
Okay.
unfortunately.
All right.
She was trying to get this doll out of its case. Trying to remove the plexiglass. If you see, even
Yeah.
the nails and stuff have been kind of... It looks like someone's been trying to get...
they're out a little bit in a couple spots.
And of course, normally we tell guests, please don't touch the artifacts.
Please don't try to pry the dolls out of their cases.
But she said that the doll or the spirit that inhabits She basically said, well, I'm being told that she wants to be let out and that she's mad that she's been kept, like, behind plexiglass. And kind of, like,
That's
insist.
great. And yet, despite all this and all the stories and, and the lady who claims to be a medium wanting to get
Yes.
the doll out of the case and the other doll winking at people and the cars moving into the thing, you still come here every day and come upstairs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Welcome to the part of the show I like to call the Eyes for a Good Cemetery. Now, if you're like me and you like things that are dark and spooky, then chances are you found yourself in graveyards and cemeteries more than a lot of other people. I've been in cemeteries and graveyards all over the world, from Transylvania to Salem to Sleepy Hollow, but the ones here at home in Newfoundland and Labrador just hit a little bit different, you know? When you have a place as rich culturally and historically as we do, things are going to be unique. And so when I got word and a ping about a beautifully creepy cemetery in the woods of Piccadilly on the Port-au-Port Peninsula, I just had to come check it out. And let me tell you, it doesn't look like it's gonna disappoint. A lot of people don't know what the difference is between a graveyard and a cemetery. And they say, Mike, what is the difference between a graveyard and a cemetery? Because they figure if anybody's gonna know, it's gonna be me, and I do. The difference is a graveyard is a yard. It's attached to a church. So think like your front yard, your backyard, your graveyard. So it's part of the churchyard. It is in the yard of the church. And a cemetery isn't. And that's the difference. It feels very set decked. So the thing about kind of wandering around and looking at cemeteries this way is like it's oddly peaceful, and there has to be a reverence to it. This is a place where people leave their loved ones, and so they come here and times of grief and all this stuff. If you are visiting a cemetery and looking at the headstones and taking photos and doing those things, just be respectful if you're doing it, because they're very special places. I've done a bunch of things, and I've been to a bunch of cool places, and a lot of it involving horror and horror movies and Halloween. And I gotta tell you, signing on to just sit in this room by myself and try to talk to the ghosts in this very haunted restaurant and pub in the dark at night, it is just something else. There's so many mirrors in this space. There's so many odd paintings that are reflected in the mirrors. And it just creates weird reflections and shadows and all kinds of stuff that just makes it not it's a fun place to be, but I'm also weird. But I keep looking towards that hall. We are in one of the original spots that hadn't burned down when this place got hit by a fire in the 40s. So this would have some history, and it has that, and it has a thing. So I'm gonna take my EMF, and I'm just gonna check out the space just a little bit. The idea is that this is detecting disturbances in electromagnetic fields. And the thing is a whole bunch of stuff give off electromagnetic fields. Like my phone and stuff is in my pocket right now, and it's making this thing go nuts. But there are people who are just sensitive to that, and if sometimes there are places that have bad wiring or something that can just make people have a weird sense of unease, I'm gonna head up to the Sterling room. But while I do, you guys check out the chat I had with Eric from the Wicked Fright Film Festival. It is a perfectly dreary day here on the west coast of Newfoundland, and I am joined by Eric White, one of the people behind the Wicked Fright Film Festival that happens in Stephenville. You guys, as a group that were students and former students and all this, decided to come together and just make a bunch of short films to just start your own festival that way.
Yeah, it was just let's get in there, let's make something, because we didn't even know fully what we wanted to do. We know we wanted to show it to people.
Mm-hmm. How many films did you have?
We made a feature length worth of content in that 11 months. We made about an hour and 20 minutes worth of content.
What's been the response to it out this way?
Surprising, I guess, because we weren't sure what to expect. I think we had like about 200 and something people show up.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it was
a one-day event?
It was a one-night event.
That is incredible. That is so great. So now that you guys have gotten through your 11 months, put together your hour plus of horror, spooky stuff, what's next for Wicked Fright?
Well, it's funny because we had planned it to be a showcase. We marketed it as a festival, unknowingly forgetting what a festival means.
Right.
And that seemed to spark something in the community. There's a lot of talented artists out here, and there's a lot of people who want to create. I said, maybe we can make this an annual thing, almost a standing ovation.
That's great.
So people want to see something happening here. Hopefully it becomes like this annual thing that we can eventually step back from and let the community do what it needs to do so that we have a film festival out this way.
So Eric, how do people catch up with Wicked Fright and find out whether or not you guys are going to do that next year and if it's going to happen and there's going to be pop-ups? How do people follow and keep up with everything you guys are doing?
You can go to wickedfright.com, that is our current URL. And we also have a Facebook page, and Instagram, and a YouTube. You'll find it all at Wicked Fright.
So if you're on the West Coast and looking for something fun and spooky to do, make sure to follow along with Wicked Fright and see what they're up to, and make sure to check out the festival the next time it happens. All right, folks, we are upstairs. We are in the Sterling Room. Of course, when we came up here with Brendan, we got some really cool stories just about the place, about the vibe. He has the scariest story of a cat I've heard in a while. But yeah, there's just, I don't know, there's something about wainscoting that just makes a place creepier. It's kind of claustrophobic with the lower ceilings. It has gotten decidedly colder since we came up here before. Okay, so a quick thing here. That little squelch sound you just heard, nobody noticed it when we were actually recording. It only got picked up in post. It came through on one of 4 audio channels, but it happened right around the time we were talking about how much colder it had gotten in the room. And it also happened right before there was a slight blip in the EMF. So you can take that information however you want to take it, but we were doing a ghost hunt, so, it's probably ghosts. So I'm not seeing, there was a spike just then, but nothing too crazy. Like I said downstairs, when you get a spot like this that just has so many dark corners and old paintings and mirrors, and the shadows just do something to you. Of course, we can't talk about Halloween and horror in Newfoundland without checking in with Dale Jarvis. Now, Dale has been running the Haunted Hike for, I think, 25 years now. He's got a number of books of Newfoundland short stories. He is a folklorist and just an expert on all things spooky. So I'm gonna keep looking around here. You guys check out the chat I have with Dale. You dirty son of a... Today, we are in a spooky basement paying tribute to Dale Jarvis, because you can't have a Halloween special in this province if you don't include Dale in some way. Yeah. You've done so many things. I think you need to list them all, because I think I would miss them if I...
Yeah, the start of it all was the St. John's Haunted Hike. That's where it began back in 1997, if you can believe it. And then from there, books, a newspaper column, all kinds of other spooky events, right up until this season, where we're doing some new paranormal investigations, and we did a thing with the fairies tradition with the botanical gardens. So yeah, I'm always got a finger on the undead pulse.
I know everything that you've done has traditionally been like folklore based. It's been anecdotal. It's been collecting stories that way. How's been going out and kind of digging in and doing the investigation stuff?
It's been great, and I still maintain that kind of folk interest, the historical interest. And there's lots of people who are out doing things with modern ghost hunting equipment, and so the avenue that I've gone is to be using tools and equipment that would have been available kind of during the spiritualism movement.
Okay.
So it's all Victorian era stuff. So we've got things like an automatic writing planchette and Ouija boards and dowsing rods. And it's great. And because I think sometimes people have heard of these things but haven't had much experience using them in person. So we've done 2 now, one at the LSPU Hall on Victoria Street, which is haunted like
so
nobody's
haunted.
business.
Yeah.
And this season we were at Cochrane Street United Church, now owned by First Light. And that's been great. And we've had some fabulous things kind of come out of that.
You say fabulous things come out of that, but have anything spooky come out? Have you gotten any?
There's a story in the building about ghostly whistling that has been heard in a part of the church. And last week, when we did stuff, we did hear at one point some whistling off in the distance. So who knows?
The fairy event at the Botanical Garden, what does that entail?
I've been talking with the Botanical Gardens for a couple of years now. They have an interest in developing kids programming and getting kids to think about the environment. And one of the things that they were talking about were fairy stories. You know, fairies are kind of nature personified and unpredictable, and you have to respect them. And so there's a way of teaching kids about environment. But at the same time, Newfoundland fairy stories are terribly creepy and not really meant for children.
Yeah.
So we decided that the Haunted Hike and the Botanical Gardens would partner on doing a twilight walk through the gardens and giving people a chance to hear those stories in a context. And also to explore the gardens at twilight, which is beautiful, and most people don't get to do that because they're usually open during business hours. We put that out there. It sold out immediately. Obviously an interest in Newfoundland fairy traditions. It's very clear that there is kind of a hunger for these traditional stories and spooky stories. So I have no doubt that will be something that will continue on and maybe expand over the next season. You know, when I started doing the Haunted Hike, it was really something that was intended for the tourist market. So for a couple months over the summer and then maybe a week at Halloween.
Yeah.
And very quickly realized that the biggest part of my market is locals. We can do stuff kind of all year round now, and people are hungry for it. And there's a whole new kind of generation of people that are interested in this stuff, and that's been really interesting.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for taking the time to chat to us. It's always great to hear about what you've got going on and the stuff going up, and I'm really looking forward to more paranormal investigation offerings and more fairy walks and everything that the Haunted Hike does coming up.
Stay tuned. Happy Halloween.
All right, happy Halloween. EMF detectors pick up kind of fluctuations within electromagnetic fields, so I figured coming behind the bar and just checking out some of the stuff might give us a bit of an indication. Now, I don't know if we're going to get much back here because our sound guy did make us unplug everything. So I don't know if anything's actually giving off any EMF at the moment. Earlier tonight, as we were coming around up here, I kept kind of hearing stuff coming from down there. And I assume it just heads to the kitchen, so maybe we'll keep an eye on that as we move around. I think it's just kitchen noises that I'm hearing from down there. Now the kitchen is closed, but that doesn't mean things stop just working down there. That's clearly something just cutting in and scaring the hell out of me. You'd think, I'm pretty sure that was just Buddha.
Sorry.
Now, fun fact, Buddha is actually very good at scaring people. So good, in fact, that he's made it part of what he does for a living. And him and the guys at Grindmind have been working very hard over the last number of years. And it's paying off because now they have a new series called Hag, a Newfoundland Nightmare. And they had a special screening of it in Buddha's hometown at the Dildo Brewery. So let's go check that out and see what else they had to say. You dummy.
It's a great segue.
We just had the first in-person screening of A Newfoundland Nightmare, The Hag, which is a 4-episode mini-series that we've created that basically interviews real Newfoundlanders and reenacts their sleep paralysis experiences. And yeah, we're here at Dildo Brewery where they've hosted a screening. It's great.
And I know you started doing this stuff through one of the Nickel 48-hour challenges came up, and you guys jumped at it, and then you just started making movies. That was 2017. Like, we're 6 years in, you got a TV show.
Yeah, man. Like, we just found that we were very fortunate to have a lot of support from our community. Like, we all did.
I feel like we just hit a wave that was happening anyway, and we're riding on it and like meeting so many cool people. Like, everybody's so enthusiastic about everything. They want to be a part of it. They want to help. They want to do stuff. It's just the coolest crowd you could possibly be involved in. You know what I mean?
It's really cool that, you know, like horror, just as its own little niche thing, can bring out this artist that we have, and we have so many of them here on this island, and it's cool to be part of this like little bubble. Of artists just popping out.
Now, it's
cool.
not just in this province, though. You guys are getting ready for the 3rd Fog Fest.
Fog Fest last year was our first year actually opening the film festival to the world and bringing in submissions from outside. And I think last year was really like a catalyst for us in sort of realizing, you know, holy crap, a lot of people are actually interested in just obviously genre and horror is booming in general, but Newfoundland as a place, it's foggy, everything is awful in a lot of good ways. But I think people are starting to realize. So FogFest this year is sort of an expansion of that idea, in that, you know, last year was 3 days, this year is 5 days, 6 nights. And we've been very fortunate to attract a lot of amazing films and the filmmakers that actually want to come here for a festival at this sort of, you know, stage of its lifespan is very good.
And what are the dates for this year's festival?
So the dates for this year's festival are going to be November 15th to 20th at the Majestic Theater. Super stacked lineup of screenings, films, workshops, and panels, including one we're very excited about, again, in sort of making it our mission of Newfoundland being a hub for genre. We are bringing in some of Canada's top distributors. You know, invite them here, show them what we have at our fingertips, and hopefully strengthen those bonds from the island and sort of beyond.
That's incredible. It is so exciting to hear about what you guys have coming up. I'm really looking forward to FogFest this year. I think it's going to be fantastic. And again, thank you for everything you guys are doing to help grow horror in Newfoundland and Labrador. And congratulations on your new series.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you for doing this. This is exactly the same thing. So let's have a big group hug. Everybody,
let's be awkward.
Doing it.
All right.
So weird.
All right, happy Halloween, boys.
All right, thanks, brother.
Mike.
So there's this kind of ghost hunting trick that people do sometimes, where you take a flashlight and you unscrew the part where the battery connects to it pretty much until it's about falling off. And then you lay it down and you try to engage something. And so I figured this is a good place to try this out, because this is actually the couch that Brendan was on when he experienced a ghostly cat. Worst case scenario, the cat being a cat will just knock the flashlight off the table. Psst, 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 psst. Okay. I'm sure that was one of the things down in the kitchen below us, but that sounded like a cat hissing. It did, right? Did you get that? I think it was just something down below, but the timing was impeccable. That's it again. I haven't heard it though. Yeah, but I haven't heard it all night. It almost sounds like a drill, like a whir of a.
You should totally go down there. That's a racket.
Thank you for that. It's a false alarm, but Buddha is now even more freaked out than I was a minute ago, so that's worth it. I'm here with Leslie and Sasha from Trash Panda Events. What is it that Trash Panda Events does?
essentially we came together to connect the alternative community, everything from promoting, connecting with local artists, and coming up with just ways for us to come together to just experience the art, the music, and the traditions, lifestyles of the alt community.
So Trash Panda events, when you go to them, they do have a different vibe than most other stuff that you go to that way. Like, how important is that in creating that atmosphere for you guys?
Incredibly important. We want to create interactive activities and help showcase the unusual talent on this island and from around, but also to be able to create safe spaces for the unusual, the weird, the oddballs, and those who are maybe, have social anxieties or introverts.
That's fantastic, and it is really that experience. But what can people expect if they're walking in somewhere like that?
So anytime anyone walks into our event, they're going to be welcomed with open arms, no matter who they are, and we want them to participate, engage, and just have a great time. Like, we're all about the shenanigans and laughs.
And it's also great because your events also have like an ambience. Like you guys do dimly lit events. You encourage people to kind of like bring their own lighting and give the chance to decorate their tables and stuff to make it a real experience for anybody coming in. A lot of times you go to a market, like a farmer's market or whatever, and it's a big room with folding tables out and people are set up. But yours really do kind of have this cohesive feeling that I know you guys have really worked to kind of curate how that all comes together.
Definitely, it's all about the experience. The main thing that we're trying to do is trying to create a memory and just a vibe that people can come in and enjoy when they come in. It's about the experience and like us offering the variety of games that we did, even the adult trick-or-treating. Like some of our favorite memories, like one of them came up to my fiance and said, "I haven't trick-or-treated in 60 years. Oh, that melted our hearts.
It's just incredible. People were really looking forward to just coming out and having fun and having a great time.
Yep.
Do you guys have anything planned coming up, or you're still kind of trying to decompress from the last one and figure out what the next event's going to be?
Yeah. We're always working on something. There's always something happening in the background.
Yeah.
We just don't like to spoil it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for coming out and chatting with me this afternoon, and happy Halloween.
Yes. Happy Halloween.
I know this makes for really great TV of me silently walking around. Generally speaking, old wooden rocking bassinets. A great accessory for any pub. The overall ambiance of this place is just a little bit spooky. I have generally considered myself a bit of a skeptic. My nerves tonight might be proving me different, but I have had a number of experiences and I'm kind of getting tired of explaining that I don't believe in ghosts, but this happened. I'm telling you, there's something about being alone. Well, with Buddha and Duncan and Dakota. There's something about being alone in a space like this that just lets your mind do mean things to you. Thank you so much for spending your Halloween night with me. I've had such a great time here at the Woodstock exploring this very spooky, very creepy building. Thank you to Brendan and everybody here for letting us in. And thank you to all the people around the province who helped us explore Halloween and horror culture here in Newfoundland and Labrador. It is so much fun. There's so many great things happening, like Fogfest, which is just coming up in a couple weeks. So even though we're getting ready to head into November, it doesn't mean spooky season's over. It's just resetting, and the next one begins now. Have a great Halloween. Check your candy.